super excited to be here. I'm Allie and I'm a nutritionist. We're going to talk nutrition today. So we're going to do smoothies and we are going to talk about all the great things you can put in smoothies. So thank you for being here. This is my kitchen and hello. So a little bit about me. I'm a certified nutritionist. I have my master's degree in nutrition counseling. And I'm also a yoga instructor, and I'm the director of operations at a local yoga studio in my neighborhood right now. So, a little background, I've always been really interested in health and nutrition, and ever since my first health class in 4th grade, I was like totally hooked when we did the nutrition week. And then I went on to study nutrition in college and grad school. Did nutrition research at the University of Washington for 8+ years. And then after that, worked at allrecipes.com doing recipe editing and all the nutrition related information for the website and articles and things like that. And then while I was there, I became a yoga instructor on the side because yoga was always something I loved and felt passionate about. So, oh, hello, I see some comments. Oh, yeah. And then after that, I worked for another website called Mealthy.com, also doing recipe editing and doing yoga stuff as well along the side and kind of leading like clean eating challenges at yoga studios. And then now I'm the director of operations at a local studio here called Hot Feet Fitness. And it's just been a great wild ride. So basically what I'm saying is that anything food, nutrition, fitness related, I'm going to be interested in learning about it and I'm going to be interested in talking about it. So that's why I'm going to talk about smoothies today, because that is something that is kind of a cornerstone of our diet in my household. Ever since my husband and I have been together, I've been making them for breakfast, because when I moved in with him, I realized that he didn't eat a whole lot for breakfast, and I was like, I'm gonna make us something that can be like full of nutrients and keep us full until lunch and just be easy to make in the morning. And so I would make smoothies, and then on the bus ride to work, I would post the recipe on Facebook and Instagram and Pinterest and Twitter, and that was just kind of my thing for a long time. And then now we have a 2-year-old, and it's just a really great way to get some nutrients in. And so if you have any questions throughout this, please put them in the chat. And I have been doing the smoothies. I haven't been posting them quite as much as I used to, but I will get back on that because that was fun. And I do go back to my Pinterest board of all places, because everything is like nice on a nice board, and I can look at the recipes really easily and look at the pictures. So anyway, that's why I love smoothies so much, because you can put so many superfoods, so many fruits and vegetables that like you probably wouldn't eat them separately, but together they're excellent. So today we're going to do 2 smoothie recipes and a dessert recipe. And I thought that we'll make a smoothie, the first smoothie, and then we will, then I'll talk about what's in it, all the good things, all the nutrients and all the superfoods and all that. And then we will move on from there. So I basically have a smoothie formula that I loosely use. And I usually do 1 to 2 fruits and a vegetable, and then a superfood, and then a protein and or fat, and then a liquid. And so this one, the first one we're going to do is kind of covers all of those things. And it is a recipe that we're going to do one that I got from someone else, and then we're going to do one of mine, and then we're going to do the dessert. So the first recipe is called Secret Ingredient Healthy Smoothie. And I got this from a blog that's on relish.com, and the blog is called 2 Peas in Their Pod. And I loved this because I just love things that say secret ingredient. And so I was intrigued. And then I come to find out that it is one of my favorite things to put in a smoothie that is a secret ingredient. So let's go through the ingredients, and we'll get to the secret ingredient in a moment. So I'm going to just go through the ingredients, and then we'll put them in the blender, blend it up, take a sip, do some talking. See if, oh great, thanks for the link. That is gonna be, the link is right there in the chat if anybody wants to click on that. So I think I cut this recipe in half because I knew that I would be making small batches. So we will start with the banana. Banana is one of my favorite ingredients to add to smoothies. I know not everybody loves bananas in their smoothies, but it kind of is the base of almost all of our smoothies. But the smoothie we're doing next doesn't have bananas, for those of you that don't like bananas. So, first ingredient, half of a banana. And you know, bananas, they're really great for potassium, have some fiber in there, and really I add it for the texture and the flavor in the smoothie. So I was happy when I saw that this one had bananas. And the next ingredient is half a cup of blueberries, which, frozen blueberries. So I love adding berries to smoothies because they are just loaded with antioxidants and fiber. And for example, 1 cup of blueberries has 4 grams of fiber. 1 cup of raspberries has 8 grams of fiber. 1 cup of blackberries has 8 grams of fiber. And they're low in calories and just add a really nice color and flavor and antioxidants that we all want and need, especially these days. We're all boosting our immune systems at home, taking extra elderberry syrup. I know we're doing that at home. Looks like we have a question. Do fresh and frozen blueberries have the same nutritional value? Oh, that's a good question. They do, actually. Fresh and frozen do. Canned, well, I guess we wouldn't be putting canned fruits in, but fresh and frozen do have about the same nutritional value. The freezing kind of just holds everything in, so it's just as good. And, you know, if you go berry picking in the summer and you pick a lot of fruit, then if you freeze it, it's going to be just as good for you in the winter when you have it. So, yes. I'm a big fan of that, and it does add a nice little cold flavored texture for the smoothie as well. So we've got our half cup blueberries, and then our secret ingredient is frozen cauliflower. I know it sounds kind of weird and different, but it's great. And especially because this calls for 1/4 of a cup, is that it? Yes, 1/4 of a cup. I have some notes of the recipes. It has 1/4 of a cup of frozen cauliflower, and you really don't even taste it. And cauliflower is so awesome because it gives you fiber, it gives you vitamin C, it gives you vitamin K, which is good for blood clotting, it gives you folate, antioxidants, and you know, it's great, and you don't even know it's there, and you're having cauliflower for breakfast. And yeah, so secret ingredient, cauliflower. We're gonna have a couple more secret ingredients in some other smoothies, or in the other smoothie later. But I love cauliflower. So we've got that, and then we have half a cup of packed spinach. So I'm just gonna do a little bit of an estimate here. So I'm using baby spinach. Put that in here. That seems like about half a cup packed. And spinach is also one of those just great superfood items. It has so many things. I'm gonna list them off here. It is such a great source of fiber, and it has vitamin A. It has vitamin C, which is one of our favorite antioxidants, and you know, vitamin C is good for our skin, it's good for our immune system. Vitamin K, again, folic acid, iron, and calcium. And one of the bonus things about spinach is the fact that it has iron, but you need vitamin C to help you absorb iron, but it also has the vitamin C. So, bonus on that. And so, kind of to backtrack a little bit, the great thing about berries and spinach is that their deep, rich color kind of lets you know that it's going to be a healthy fruit or vegetable to choose. So all the berries, all the greens, broccoli, red bell pepper, anything with that bright, vibrant color is definitely going to let you know that it's something good to eat, and it will be loaded with antioxidants and vitamins. So we've got our spinach. Next ingredient is half a teaspoon of chia seeds, which these are one of my favorites. One of my coworkers used to always joke with me that like I was always talking about chia seeds, and it's true. I am. So this is a half a teaspoon of chia seeds, and chia seeds. These go in the category of superfood. I know that every food, there isn't one food that has everything, but it has a whole lot, and it's a great additive to put in your smoothies. So chia seeds, let's go through these. So they are such a great source. So 1 tablespoon of chia seeds has 3 grams of protein, 3 grams of fat, 5 grams of fiber, which for a tablespoon of something, that is a lot of fiber. And it's just a great addition to a smoothie. So if you mix it with a liquid, it forms a gel, and we'll talk about that a little bit after we make this smoothie, because I wanted to show, I have a visual aid of what that gel can look like. And so basically it forms a gel, and then it expands in your body, keeps you full longer. It's good for digestion. So chia seeds are awesome. So we've got those. And the next ingredient is flaxseed, which is also a half a teaspoon. So I need to measure these just because I have my measuring spoon here. So half teaspoon of flaxseed. This is ground flaxseed. So one thing to keep in mind when you're doing flax is to always buy it ground, or if you buy the seeds, just grind them at home in a spice grinder, because all the omega-3s and all the good stuff that's inside the flax is only released if you grind it. So be sure to do that, and then keep it in the refrigerator. I keep my flax and chia seeds in the fridge just to kind of preserve all the good fats that are in there. So then we have, and then there's an optional scoop of protein powder. I don't have any protein powder. I don't usually put that in my smoothies, but you're welcome to. And then 3/4 of a cup of almond milk, unsweetened vanilla almond milk. So I'm just gonna do a little gauge there. I usually kind of gauge by how much liquid versus all the ingredients, but that should be good. And almond milk is a great plant-based beverage. I use that or water. Water is kind of my go-to liquid for smoothies, but you can also use coconut milk, which I like to use the kind from the can just because that's a little bit richer and it's just the coconut milk and not any additives. So there's that, or regular milk. Cow's milk is fine too. So I'm sorry ahead of time if this is really loud, but I'm gonna put the lid on. We're gonna try this out. Okay, so I have the blender on low, and here we go. Okay, that doesn't seem too bad. Let's see how that. And it just makes such a pretty color. And the green of the spinach has been absorbed. You can't really even see it anymore. And that cauliflower has been also pureed. So there we go. So this is the secret ingredient healthy smoothie from 2 peas in their pod. Cheers to that. That is delicious. Okay. So I'm going to pour the rest into here. And one other thing I wanted to talk about was the chia gel. I'm going to do a quick rinse of this. Okay, here we go. The chia, so if you add water and chia, you get the gel. And I made one earlier this morning, about 8 hours ago. And I don't know if you can tell, but it really made like this thick addition. So it's called, you can call it like a chia egg. So it can be a really good egg replacement. Oh, I see some comments coming in. Okay, so yeah, cauliflower, generally fresh and frozen. Yeah. Oh yes, is adding a raw egg still a thing? You know, I haven't done that, but maybe some people still do. I'm not sure. But I do add egg white powder sometimes because my son doesn't like a whole lot of protein-rich foods. And as a 2-year-old, he is a vegetarian. And he just doesn't like to eat meat. We offer it to him, but he just doesn't like it. And so egg white powder is such a great addition to a smoothie because it's just pure protein. Or collagen powder is also a good protein source too. So I suppose if you use a pasteurized egg, you can still do that. And I'm sure it would make it nice and frothy. Oh yeah, chia puddings. I love chia puddings. They're so good. I know, so this is kind of like a chia pudding. So I did 1 tablespoon chia and 3 tablespoons water. And I put it in the refrigerator for like 8 hours. And so this is just a great egg replacer if you don't want to cook with eggs. And I also made a flax egg. So I did 1 tablespoon flaxseed and 1/4 cup of water because it absorbed the water a little bit more. Oh yeah, the egg white powder, definitely good. Thank you for the comments, everybody. So this is also, I don't know if you can tell, but this is the flax egg. And I've used this because one of our friend's son has an egg allergy. And so whenever I do baked goods, I do the flax egg. And you can't tell at all. It's great. It's really great. So there's that. So those were the first antioxidants, or the first superfoods. The next recipe we're going to do is one that I made up, and I'm calling it I'm calling it mango turmeric smoothie because those are the stars of the recipe. Egg white powder is very handy during quarantine. Oh yeah, that is a good call. I know, I've actually had a hard time finding it. I used to buy it at Trader Joe's, and I haven't seen it there for a while. Oops, this is a little bit heavier than I thought it would be. But it is such a great filling thing to add. I'm sure we could buy it online. We'll have to look that up. Okay, so the next recipe, it's just like power packed, and it's just great. And no banana. So all of you out there that don't like bananas, this is the way to go. So mango is kind of my other go-to fruit. So I use those chopped up frozen mangoes. They're great, and they just add a really nice texture. Oh yeah. Okay, good. Yeah, I'm glad we're talking about the egg white powder because it is great. Okay, so frozen mango, great for vitamin A, great for vitamin C, great for fiber, and great for flavor. I mean, mango is just so delicious. So I'm just gonna put like half of this because we'll just do a small one. Okay, so that's probably a 1/2 cup of frozen mango. And then we're gonna do a carrot, which I've used these in lots of smoothies before just because they add a nice color. You're getting a vegetable, and carrots are great for vitamin A, also vitamin C, fiber. So I'm just doing like 1/2 carrot here. Okay. Oh yeah, and spinach. I do like spinach. Especially, I like to do spinach if I'm doing like a light colored fruit like bananas and mangoes because then it really adds a nice color. So we'll do like a cup, or probably the packed 1/2 cup like we did before. And another green addition for smoothies, I don't have it today, but matcha powder, the matcha tea powder, that is just loaded with antioxidants, and it's actually the leaf of the tea. They take the young tea leaves, dry them, grind them into a powder, and that is what you're actually consuming rather than like soaking tea leaves in the water. So you're just getting so many, you're just getting so many of the great nutrients from the tea and that you're actually consuming. So that's also a nice superfood to put in with green smoothies. Okay. Now we're going to come to so this, not my secret ingredient, not yet. Okay, cashews. So nut butters are great for smoothies, and I use those a lot, but there was a time because I was making so many smoothies that I just got kind of tired of the nut butter flavors, so then I started using, just raw nuts. So we're going to put in fourth a cup of raw cashews. And I like raw cashews just because they kind of turn into like a creamy, nice texture. They're a good way to get some extra protein. And let's see what's next. Then we have cashews. Oh, and then I have a date. My mother-in-law lives in Southern California. She gives us dates all the time, like fresh dates. I'm going to keep it on the side. Excuse me. I add a date sometimes if the smoothie isn't sweet enough, but we'll see. I'll taste it first. Then my secret ingredient is white beans. And I love putting white beans or garbanzo beans in smoothies. Also another great plant-based protein to add to your smoothie. You can't taste it. It's like the cauliflower. You really can't taste it. And it's just like one of those other secret ingredients. So white beans or garbanzo beans. So we're going to put a fourth of a cup of white beans in there. And then turmeric is going to be our superfood of this recipe. And turmeric is just so great for so many reasons, because it is also full of, it is full of antioxidants, and it has curcumin in it, which is a compound that is an anti-inflammatory. It's an antioxidant. It's good for your heart. And so, excuse me, I can like kind of smell, I'm kind of ingesting it. So turmeric, there is a tipping point though, kind of like kale, where there's a tipping point where you can kind of start to taste it in your smoothie. So turmeric, I usually just do a little bit, like an eighth of a teaspoon is probably all I'm going to put in here, but maybe we'll do a fourth of a teaspoon. Okay, I'll do 2 1/8 teaspoons. But it's good. This is a good addition. So spices are good. They're always loaded with healthy things like antioxidants. And if you're making a smoothie and you realize like, ooh, I haven't put anything super foodish in, you can always do turmeric, you can always do cinnamon. Cinnamon is really good antioxidant, anti-inflammatory as well. And it tastes good. So turmeric it is. And then I'm just going to add water because that's usually what I add. And so I'll probably do a cup of water. And this is going to be probably mostly green because of the spinach. So there we go. All right. Hopefully it's not too loud. Here we go. I love watching the color transformation. Okay, so this is a nice green smoothie. I would probably do it a little bit longer at home, I am home when I'm making them normally, but I just don't want it to be too loud. So let's see if it's sweet enough. It's definitely not super sweet. So I kind of like it, but if you are going to make this, you could add a date, or you can add, sometimes I put like half of an apple in it too. But I don't know, sometimes I like it like this because then it tastes like it's not, or it tastes like it's really healthy. Good for you. So that is the mango turmeric smoothie. Definitely welcome to add dates or other things to make them sweet, but it tastes really good. And then the last thing I wanted to discuss was a dessert that I made this morning. I got the approval of my 2-year-old that it was delicious. And, okay, good. Thank you. Thank you, Lynn. Okay, so we are going to make a chocolate avocado mousse, which I'm going to use my, oh, here it is. Excuse me. I'm going to use my hand blender. And let's see, let's move all of these things out of the way. I'll put them behind me. Okay, I know I've got to be quick because we only have about 5 minutes. Okay, so our ingredients are, I cut this in half because I made one this morning and I just want to show you. So this is a hand blender, but it has the chopper attachment, right here. So it's just really great because it's like a bowl. I use this all the time. This is a Mealty hand blender. So we've got an avocado. An avocado, this is kind of, I guess the theme of all of these today are secret ingredients. So we've got half of an avocado. So we're going to put that in here. Avocados are great sources of those monounsaturated fats that are good for us. So I'm just going to scoop out half of the avocado. And then the next ingredient is cocoa powder. And that we will need, where did I put my spoon? Oh, they're right here. Okay. We're going to put in 2 tablespoons of cocoa powder. And I know that cocoa powder and cacao powder are kind of really popular ingredients these days. And the difference between the two is cocoa powder has been roasted and cacao powder is the raw form. They're both good for you. The cacao might be a little bit richer because it hasn't been through the processing, but they both are loaded in excuse me, that went into my throat. Loaded with antioxidants, fiber, iron, and they're mood boosters. So, and they're delicious. I mean, you can't go wrong with something chocolate. So that was 2 tablespoons of cocoa powder. I'm going to put 2 tablespoons of pure maple syrup. And I think it's 1/4 of a teaspoon of vanilla. Okay, I'm just gonna gauge that one because I always feel like you can never have too much vanilla. And then a pinch of salt, and that's it. There we go. And then, just because we are running a little bit short on time, that is just those are the ingredients, and then I have the final product here because I made one this morning. And it is a really nice chocolate mousse pudding. I guess you can't really tell, but it's nice and thick. Like I can turn this upside down and it still stays in here. I made this about 8 hours ago. It says that you really need to just chill it for 2 hours. But great way to get avocado, great way to get cocoa powder from its, early natural form. Oh, I see a question. Is there a flavor difference between cocoa powder and cacao powder? I think there is a little bit. I think cocoa powder does have, it's a little bit easier to eat. The cacao powder has kind of a more pungent taste to it, I guess I would say. But they're both good, especially if you add a sweetener like maple syrup or agave nectar or honey. They're both good. I've used cacao powder in smoothies too, and it's really good. So it's just kind of your choice or, your flavor choice, up to you. But this is delicious and it's really healthy and not very many ingredients, and you just whip it up. So let's see. I feel like there were a couple other, excuse me. Oh yeah, I think that too. The Portlandia, how they talk about cacao. That's funny. So a couple of other superfoods. We talked about the matcha. Hemp seeds are great. Those are a good source of protein. Those are a good source, of fiber. All those ground spices are coming up into my lungs. Hemp seeds are really great too. I used to put those in our recipes a lot. So those are good, and any kind of seeds really. I mean, sesame seeds, I've put those in. That's delicious. I guess depending on how much you put in, but you don't really taste that as well unless you used the roasted. So let me check time here. I think we just have 1 more minute left. I am so happy to have been able to join everybody here today, talking about food, talking about nutrition, talking about smoothies. Having an afternoon smoothie is always delicious. So tune in tomorrow. Relish will be on Twitch TV every day at 4 o'clock. So thank you again for joining, and we will see you soon. Okay, bye.